Last year, a Minnesota government committee took submissions from the public for a new design for the state flag. After some tweaks to the winning entry, the Minnesota flag went from this to this. Across the country, design professionals hailed the new flag as an A+, with distinct colors and simple design, especially when compared to the old one, which had a difficult-to-identify state seal containing many small details within. So what's the problem with the new flag? Well, many in Minnesota hate it, and they've suddenly taken an apparent newfound interest in the state flag by buying out the old one.
It has been a month now since the state of Minnesota adopted a new state flag, but not everyone is making the change.
And we have been selling hundreds of the old flags, and we have only sold 6 of the new flags to a customer base.
In this video, I'm going to explain why there is this rebellion against the new flag, and why it is noteworthy as a symbol of the unfortunate cultural split in our state and beyond. Who am I? Hi, I'm Brandon Fertig. I was born and raised in a small town here in the North Star State. Now I live in the Twin Cities. I create human interest stories, run a tech nonprofit, and write about social issues. Much of this is focused right here in Minnesota, where I can see signs of conflict and dysfunction growing. In fact, following my winter story about the wolf issue splitting the state in two, and ways we can come together on it, I'm writing a new long-form piece about the shaky status of Minnesota in general. It's what got me looking into the flag issue. So, I threw it out there for my Facebook friends. Fellow Minnesotans, I'm seeking your reaction to the new state flag, I wrote. What do you think? And out it came. The new flag is stupid, non-descriptive, and totally boring. It's a total joke. It's trash, and people never asked for it. Some did like it a lot. The new one is distinct, has subtle design choices made to represent the state. But the artistic quality of an icon doesn't matter if it symbolizes something objectionable. Some said the new flag is boring and doesn't tell a story. Others aren't going along with the idea commonly cited as reason for the change, that the Native American imagery was offensive. But the strongest objection, I believe, comes from the context in which the new flag was selected. Minnesota is in the midst of a 2-year, total Democrat-controlled government. And upon winning, they weren't shy about their intent to take advantage of this rare trifecta, which they did with new policies around social issues, climate change, and a 38% spending increase with increased taxes in a state that was already one of the highest taxed in the country. Along with the legislation, though, there's also been this general divisiveness and hard feelings now between the political right and left. And in the case of conservatives, who I personally know across the state and covered in that wolf story, there's a sense of disenfranchisement, of feeling marginalized, that their concerns are ignored and their way of life under attack. So for many of these Minnesotans, they see this new flag as yet just another example of Democrat-exclusive activity, or as they're known here in Minnesota, the DFL, Democratic Farm and Labor. The new flag is the DFL flag, poorly disguised Democrat Party battle flag. They perceive it as something for the other side, not for them. So, what is for them? Before COVID, before the riots following George Floyd's death, before radical politics from either side took over, let's remember the good old days. And these fans of a former Minnesota now have a flag to help them do just this. I recently went camping up along the North Shore. This was about 6 weeks after the new flag was flown. Yet, all across Minnesota, all I saw were the old flags flying. The only place I saw the new one was in the well-known progressive town of Grand Marais. If unity and inclusion were the goals of this new flag, it's backfired pretty bad. Yet I also observe how Minnesota is entering a new era. How the ways in which it became such a fantastic state might not work as well in this new, more diverse, dynamic world. So with that, a new flag could have been a terrific idea to sort of symbolize this new chapter of Minnesota. But that was only if it was unveiled out of the spirit of unity and rebuilding. So for many, at least for now, this new flag reinforces the division by symbolizing the negative aspects of today's Minnesota politics and society. And now some of them are claiming their own flag. This is the opposite of what that A+ flag expert predicted 6 months ago. Through familiarity and understanding the symbolism, he said, people come to love the flag that represents the state they love. And that's my prediction for Minnesota. And this can still come true. A big silver lining that I see of choosing a more safe option for this flag, one that doesn't have as many symbols and political overtones, is that after the storm of today's more polarized, radicalized society has passed, we can come together under the banner of this new flag. Well, actually, there has been accusations of a quite provocative political overtone in this new flag, and this one has stirred national voices. So, okay, if this accusation too can blow over, perhaps we can come back to the center. And this is the bottom line, right? Is to try to get everyone back together again. Maybe one way we do this is by inviting everyone back in and reinvesting in a brand new flag. This one democratically selected, giving everyone a feeling that their voice is being heard. The potential here is actually quite strong because it could symbolize moving past these past 5-10 years of extreme divisiveness and chaos. And this is a state that hasn't known drama like this before. So I think many would prefer to be able to move on from this and start a new chapter fresh. And this is the power of a symbol. Right now, the current one is driving people to the old one. Maybe a brand new one could help unify all of us again and move on together, past this tumultuous time of Minnesota. But whether it's a brand new flag or whether it's the current one, the current new one, which could work just fine, the prerequisite is to have healing, to heal the division that's in the state right now. Because as we know, a house divided against itself cannot stand. I'm Brandon Fertig on the Periphery. Thanks for watching and caring.